Here are the three treasures. How rare and wondrous is it to have been born into human life, and now I live it. How rare and wondrous it is to be able to listen to the Buddha Dharma, and now I am able to hear it. If I do not transcend the world of delusion in this life, when will I ever attain spiritual liberation? May I, along with the entire Sangha, with sincere heart and mind, rely on that which can be truly relied upon in life, the three treasures. I rely on the Buddha. May I, along with all sentient beings, awaken to the great path with my entire being and discover the highest aspiration, which is to become a Buddha. I rely on the Dharma. May I, along with all sentient beings, deeply reflect on the meaning of the sutras and gain wisdom that is as deep and vast as the ocean. I rely on the Sangha. May I, along with all sentient beings, become one Sangha of life, able to move forward and live with a dynamic spirit that is hindered by nothing. The unsurpassed, deep, and wondrous Dharma, even in millions of kalpas, is extremely difficult to encounter, but now I am able to experience and embrace it. May I come to understand and revere the true meaning of the Tathagata.
Hello. I will remove my mask. Got two of our friends here with us today. Alan Goto is filming. Bobby Fukumoto is joining us, and they were a good 40 feet away from me, so I will unmask, chant Juseige with you, if I may, for this service, which we are recording to be broadcast on April 18th of 2021. Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Dabutsu, Namo Mita Butsu. Busatsu, Daimuryo, Jukyo, Juseige, Gagoncho, Segan, Hishimu, Jodo, Shigan hu mandoku, Seifudyo shogak, Gao muryoko, Uindai seishu, Fusai sho bingu, Seifudyo shogaku, Gashijo butndo, Myoshocho jippo, Kukyo mi shomon, Seifudyo shogaku, Ryokujin shonen, Joeshu bongyo, Shigumu jodo, Isho teninshi, Jinrikien daiko, Fushomu taido, Shoujo san kumyo, Kosai shu yakunan, Kaihichi egen, Meshi kon moan, Hei sokusho akudo, Kudatten shumon, Kosojo mandoku, Iolo jippo, Nichigatten shu juki, Tenko onhugen, Ishu kai hodo, Koseku dokuho, Jōdai shuchu, Seppo shi shiku, Kuyo ithaya button, Gu sokushu tokuhon, Ganne joman, Tokui thangayo, Nyobutn mu gechi, Tsudatn mi husho, Gangaku eriki, Toshi sai shoson, Shiganya koka, Daisen no kando, koku sho ten na to chin myoke namandabu 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 Gani shikudoku Byodo sei isai don modai shin ojo on koku namanda buddhamanda namanda 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 buddhamanda Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, hello again. Good morning, I believe it is, for you. Thank you for participating in this service and listening to this Dharma talk, which again we're preparing for April 18th of 2021. Now this coming Thursday will be Earth Day. That is the official international recognition that we are of the Earth and that we must protect her ecosystems. The Earth is our home and we should feel at home here. Perhaps our religion can help us to feel more at home on Earth. Our style of this stream of Pure Land Mahayana Buddhism can help us to feel at home and maybe help us to treat Earth a little more like it is our home. We human beings must make our homes here on Earth, and we must begin doing a much better job of housekeeping. We must become better housekeepers, better sons and daughters of the Earth. So let me address the issue of how to feel at home, because if we feel at home, maybe we can treat Earth like our home. We are each of us a way in which the universe expresses and comes to know itself. I tell you that almost every week. Carl Sagan used to tell you that 50 years ago, just about every time he got in front of a camera, 50 years ago, mid-20th century. The Roman philosopher Boethius used to say pretty much the same thing 1,600 years ago. And Shakyamuni Buddha taught us this 2,500 years ago. We are each ways in which the universe knows itself. We're each ways in which the universe comes to express itself. However, the fact that we're each the universe being itself, the universe knowing itself, this is an empty conceit unless we can feel at home on Earth. Unless we can feel at home on Earth and treat Earth like our home. Treat Earth like our beloved home, which we care for. We need to find each of us concrete ways of feeling at home on Earth, feeling ourselves to be modes of the universe's self-knowledge. Our way, the Jodo Shinshu Buddhist way, is just one way that works. There is a vow, a promise to illumine all suffering and deluded beings, to lift all suffering and deluded beings out of their troubles and into the light. We rely on that promise and occasionally say the name of the Buddha who is fulfilling that promise in forms like Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. These are all Nembutsu, all recollections of the Buddha. We say the Nembutsu, the Buddha's name, in grateful appreciation in our style of Buddhist religiosity. The verbal forms we use are easy enough to pronounce, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, and they can be said in English if we prefer. I often translate the Nembutsu as, we rely upon the source of limitless wisdom, light, and endless life. This is a simple form of Buddhist spirituality, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, the Pure Land stream of Mahayana. We trust in a vast goodness, a vast source of goodness. We live with appreciation. Saying the Buddha's name once in a while in a sense of wonder and gratitude. Namo Amida Butsu. This is a simple way of being a Buddhist. A simple way of being Buddhist. The Buddhist path is an inclusive, non-combative path. It does not conflict with others much. We human beings need a path that is clear and specific. We who are on the road need a code that we can live by. However, that doesn't mean that we judge other paths as being fruitless. We Buddhists do not usually consider other religions to be false. Are some religions and socio-political philosophies false? Simply false, just wrong? Yes. Nazis. Nazis are wrong. Yes, Barack Obama, I can say it. It isn't so hard to say. Nazis are bad. So yes, there are some false teachings out there. There are religions and political philosophies and social perspectives that are ugly and destructive. But of the tens of thousands of religious traditions that have developed amongst humans in trying to relate to this business of living, of being at home, trying to relate to this big thing we live in the middle of, the universe, these tens of thousands of forms of religion, most of them have their own logic and validity. Buddhists are inclined to assume that they're correct and valid in their own way. Most of the religions, philosophies, forms of social practice that have emerged in human culture do work for some people. This form of Pure Land Mahayana Buddhism, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, does work for me and my family and for many of my friends. It works to make us feel at home on this earth, at home in this universe. Now I'm about to make a comparison of different religious traditions to preferring one kind of food or another. So that may seem superficial to you, but it may not be. Do you like sashimi? I've come to like sashimi. As an Irish-American baby boomer, you probably can guess I didn't grow up eating sashimi. I've come to be quite fond of sashimi, which is sliced raw fish. It is a very good source of protein. It has no carbohydrates to speak of and very low in fat. Sashimi is a good form of nutrition if your mercury level isn't too high and if you don't eat it twice a day. But as of now, eating sashimi requires killing fish. No way to get it, no other way to get it right now, which is genuinely unfortunate. But imagine you can make sashimi out of tofu and that you couldn't taste the difference, the texture was just right, indistinguishable from real sashimi. Well, in that case, should everyone eat sashimi then because it's high protein, low fat? No! Some people still wouldn't like it. Why should they have to eat something they do not like? Some people already have too much protein in their diets. Not too many of us, but some do. That could be a problem. Many of us have too much mercury in our systems. So forgive me for belaboring this analogy of religious traditions as being like a dietary preference, but let me share an anecdote I've told some of you before. I remember reading about this 56 years ago. And 56 years ago, there was a bumper Russian wheat crop. Only time in history that the Russians just ended up with tons and tons of wheat they didn't need, 1965. Well, a European charity, some people running a charity in Europe thought, wow, wheat is so cheap now. There are all these people starving in India. Why don't we just buy up all that cheap wheat and ship it to India? Which they did to Mumbai. And what they found was that they had, of course, sent this food to help to feed the starving and the poor. And what they found out was that poor Indian people could not digest wheat. You're dying. You're starving to death. The only thing you ever ate in your life was rice or millet. They give you this wheat stuff. You cannot digest it. You cannot absorb it. You cannot assimilate it. Wheat is good food for some people, not for everybody. Buddhism is good religion for some people, maybe not for everybody. Our path excludes no one. Our path is meant for everyone. This teaching, the Nembutsu teaching, living in the illumination of the Buddha's active promise to illumine and transform us, living in this promise, this path is available to anyone who would like to try it. Nonetheless, it doesn't strike some people as appealing and trustworthy. Your religious path must strike you as appealing and trustworthy. Some people cannot take our teaching in. They cannot digest it any more than starving people in Mumbai in 1965 could digest wheat. So different strokes for different folks. There's a reason that there are tens of thousands of religious traditions. Not one of them works for everybody perfectly. Now let me go a little bit to the side here. Now let me first say that, as we know, not all corporations are evil, and not all industries devastate our planet. But some of the industrialists who are devastating our planet with overuse, with overmining, with the overmining of resources, with incautious pollution, some of them don't feel part of this universe. They don't feel any concern for Earth. She's just here to be used, so far as they can see. There was a candidate for president, Ross Perot, who once said, we should just use this planet up and then move to a new one. That's not going to work. This is our home. This is our only home. This is the only home human beings will ever have, Earth. She is our mother. We must protect Mother Earth. There is much that must be done. We need stricter regulations in some industries. We need more just tax systems in some areas. We need fairer charges for utilizing natural resources in some cases. There are political actions that are needed. There are social organizations still needing to be formed to address the many inequities amongst which we live. But one factor in our feeling at home here on Earth and being able to value Mother Earth is our religious beliefs. Some religious traditions value human beings radically more than any other form of life. The Buddhist religion is not one of those. We are, each of us, ways in which the universe expresses and comes to have knowledge of itself. Each human being is such. Carl Sagan said so 50 years ago, and he was right. Boethius said so 1,400 years ago, and he was right. Shakyamuni Buddha discerned this truth 2,500 years ago, and it's still true. Religiosity, spirituality, is the discernment of that which is sacred, holy, deeply worthy of respect. This is what it is to be religious, to be reverent. For some other religions, what is taken as sacred is beyond us, beyond Earth, beyond all of this. For we Buddhists, Earth is sacred. Life is holy. What is sacred includes us. Us in the sense of all of us. Men, women, children, dogs, cats, birds, insects, plants, the soil itself. This coming Thursday again will be the official Earth Day. Let's be especially mindful of this beautiful planet today and every day leading up to the official Earth Day on Thursday. Earth is one system, including us and every person on her. So, loving Earth also means stop Asian hate. Loving Earth also means Black Lives Matter. Loving Earth means opposing racism, opposing bullying in all forms. You know what we've been seeing in recent years? Somebody's bullying somebody. You don't always have to step in and grab the knife away from the guy, you know? What we've seen in so many cases, if somebody on the street just goes, stop that, he's hurting her, call the cops, people run away. A lot of those low-level thugs will just run away if you yell at them. Intervene without getting yourself killed if you can. Stop the violence. Stop Asian hate. Black Lives Matter. Japanese American Lives Matter. Every living being on this earth is part of the world coming to know itself. Part of the big, holy, sacred thing that religion is all about. Part of the Dharma. Part of the Buddha is the Sangha. Loving Earth means opposing racism. Loving Earth means opposing bullying in all forms. As we close this service by saying the Buddha's name together, some of us, may we feel at home on this planet. May we feel at home on Earth, in this universe. This Earth is our home. This universe is our home. We belong here. You belong here. You are at home. Those who wish, please join me in saying the Buddha's name a few times. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namo Da Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Da Butsu. Thank you very much.